And there are moments where we are almost crippled by brain rot, we are crippled by brain fog, and it's not entirely our fault, but the system that we are living in, it's in a perpetual hamster wheel loop of keeping you in that brain rot mindset. Hi everyone, I am Saloni. Today we're going to talk about my secret sauce of hacking your brain. I'm also a trained neuro-linguistic programming coach who coaches many clients. I can vouch for these techniques with my life. I know these are going to help you, especially if you want to get out of a rut and you don't know how. When you want to move your body, but your body doesn't want to move. Whatever's keeping you stuck, I aim for this video to do some magical background work for you without you having to consciously be a big part of your development. The thing that I'm sharing with you today is something that I've learned through years of research, through my own trauma, thanks to that, and also experimentation on myself and a lot of my clients. It's actually easy to hack success, confidence, money, you name it, even healing. Your brain is responsible for numerous activities. Of course, it's literally the one that keeps you alive, makes sure all of your functions are running smoothly. It stores thoughts, memories, gives out ideas, speech, churns out so many different neural pathways of learning for you to become a better human being, evolutionary speaking. One of the many ways to make your brain work for you is a concept called the whole brain activation process. Whole brain activation isn't a woo-woo concept, it's literally merging science and spirituality or neuroscience. Sometimes no matter how many meditations you do, how many motivational speeches you listen to, your brain just does not want to agree because your brain is stuck in a flight or fight response. But we need to get our brain out of this fight and flight response to make sure that your brain is acting in tandem so that all your machines start getting oiled up and your brain is functioning at its peak again. What we want to do here through the medium of these techniques, especially if you're in a position where you don't really feel like doing anything at all, is to kind of reprogram your brain in a way where your brain and essentially you start to think of yourself as the solution. I'm going to show you a very powerful but often overlooked method to reprogram your mind, and it starts by activating both hemispheres of your brain, which is your right brain and your left brain. If you haven't already heard this before, our brain is comprised of two parts. One is your right brain and the other is your left brain, and both of these combined together make up our whole brain. The left brain is usually more analytical, more logical, more solution-oriented, critical thinking, problem-solving brain. And the right brain is usually your more creative, idea generating, intuitive, big thinking brain. And most people are one brain dominant. For example, I would consider myself as a right brain dominant because I think I would call myself a little more creative than analytical. The whole point of this technique is to activate your right part, which is your creative part, and your analytical part together. When it lights up together, that's when your brain can churn out the maximum results. It's like going from dial-up internet to fiber optic speed. That is when your brain stops being in the flight and fight response, and that's when your brain also stops being in a freeze state and it starts to do something better, which is create new neural pathways. Through creating new neural pathways, you essentially build new habits, and these habits obviously help you do better in life. When both hemispheres are synchronized together, you experience faster learning, you experience deeper emotional processing, and you also experience better decision making. And here's the kicker, you also become more receptive to change in your life, especially the kind that you want. And this is the sweet spot where you can experience rapid habit change and manifestation. So the first tool to activate both sides of your brain is binaural beats. Now you can find this anywhere on YouTube, but I would encourage you to really look up legit resources because there's a lot of people out there scamming on YouTube, but there are a lot of genuine people as well who have great work put up on YouTube, on iTunes, wherever you want to find it. How does binaural beats work? So these beats work with a slightly different frequency in your right ear versus your left ear. So when you listen to a slightly different frequency in both your ears, what happens is your brain merges the frequency to make it cohesive, to bring harmony to it, and that's when both your right and left brain can activate together. This also leads to deep focus, it leads to relaxation and even altered states of consciousness. Manifestation is quickly possible. Changing a particular persistent thought is twice as possible. Coming to the next one, which is bilateral stimulation. Now again, all of these things, when you hear bilateral, binaural, they're all talking about your left and your right part of your brain. And these are all tied up into how your amygdala functions, how your brain responds, how your brain forms thoughts, how your brain forms ideas. All of these functions become so much better and fast acting when you focus on the activation of your logical part and your creative part. I've also made a video, one of my first videos is about EMDR, which is a therapy technique which a lot of NLP instructors use. I've used this on multiple people and I've also used it on myself and I absolutely swear by it. In EMDR, what you do is you start to take your eyes, so just your eye movements, and you start to go in a straight line like this. So I'm going to focus on my finger here, but you can also do it on a wall or any particular line, or you can actually find really good YouTube videos where they have this bilateral ball going from one end to the other. So your eyes can purely focus from right to the left or left to the right. And you have to do it continuously without breaking your eye contact with the wall or anything that's in front of you that you're focusing on. This is how you do it. You take your eyeball and you start to go. My eyes are following from the left to the right, as extreme as I can go on my eye level. Okay, and I'm also going to try to not blink my eyes here and not look anywhere else like this. When I move my eyes like this especially works on any traumatic memory, pressing memories or flashes that just won't leave your mind. While you're doing this right to left stimulation, you can also think about the memory that is most haunting to you, and if it's keeping you a little stuck and not letting you work because you're going in your head about this moment, then this is the quickest way to desensitize the weight of this flash, this memory or situation. That was EMDR therapy that helps with mental blocks and we can process our emotions more efficiently. Another thing that we could do is the left and right hemisphere exercise. Now there is one particular exercise, I'm going to try and find it on YouTube if I can and I'll link it. What it does is it engages your left and right side together in a way where you're moving your hands in tandem with your opposite leg. So it's alternating hand and leg. One of the simplest exercise to do to activate your brain is to go for a walk. I swear this is a little off topic. I went for a walk after a long gap yesterday. I was starting to feel a little bit like I was in my room a lot, and I swear you guys, I went for a walk. It was nothing, it was a simple 10-minute walk across my house. It was as if someone breathed life into me again. Like I was deprived of oxygen and suddenly I had so much more oxygen because I kept looking at the green trees, the leaves, and I don't know, it just invigorated me. That's what they say, right? Nature is the best healer of all. And when you're clubbing this with walking, obviously it's having an impact on your brain. So the dual effect of it makes you feel so enriched. I can not recommend it enough. That also means that you are engaging the right and the left hemisphere together. This could also involve you maybe tapping your knees left, right, alternatively. If you are familiar with the butterfly hug, which is used for self-soothing, it basically goes like this. When you're feeling kind of low or down, you take your hands alternatively, place them, and you start to alternatively tap like this. So it's activating the left and right side again. It's also supposed to mimic the heartbeat of your mother when you were in her womb, and that's what makes you feel so soothed and so self-relaxed. That's one thing that you could do, but I would encourage you to also do some high intensity workouts or some low intensity workouts, but involving your entire body with it. Like walking, running, dancing is super, because I remember I used to say that I'm a good dancer, but I don't know if I can learn a choreography very quickly. I definitely take time, and that's because we are not used to getting our left and our right side to coordinate very well, right? In dance you need like coordinating movements, and it's a great way to actually activate your left and right side. Any physical movement that makes a cross between the midline of your body is considered to be a cross hemisphere exercise. This also fast tracks your brain into super success. None of these techniques have to be really long or very strenuous. You can just do it for under a minute and you will see the impact of it on your brain. For the next one, I would say that choose trusted creators and always set your own intention before you start to do this. But I would recommend listening to subliminals. These are one of the fastest ways for you to reach a particular altered state in your mind or to start to see changes in your life without having any conscious role to play in it. If you didn't already know this, everything in life is a subliminal message. One of the earliest subliminal messages that started was in the movie theaters when they would play just an image of Coca-Cola during intermission, and that made people want to go have a Coca-Cola in the break time, and that became like such a classical conditioning, like a cause and effect situation, that without realizing that they were being subliminally targeted, people associated break time with Coca-Cola. Another way that these work is that when you're simply walking across the street, all the billboards that you see, all the things that you read, or the random people that you happen to see with your peripheral vision, these are the things that actually get caught into your subliminal net or your subconscious mind faster than the conscious interactions that you have. I remember the other day my sister and I was speaking about this one person for like a split second. We were remembering this girl we kind of grew up around, and we were talking about her literally for a second, and then we forgot about it. We were like, oh yeah, there was this girl, do you remember her? That's it. And both her and I ended up having a dream about the girl the same night. But we had like so many different activities throughout the 24 hours of our day. But the message that our subconscious mind caught on to the fastest was a message that went by a blip or in a second. And that's how subconscious mind and subliminals work. That's literally, you're not even there. You're not even actively participating. This is a great way to work because literally what do you gotta do? You just gotta sit and it's gonna happen for you. When I discovered subliminals 10 years ago, it was my safe haven. So many things changed so quickly, and I'm going to link some of my trusted subliminal makers. They are basically affirmations hidden under music. I have curated a list because it's been about 10 years now that I'm listening to these subliminals, and I've become really good at discerning who the good creators are, who are legit, and I think that can help you. You can listen to a subliminal for literally anything. You can listen to it for having better hair, better skin, better speech. Add to that list productivity, add to that list desired body. Whatever you want under the sun is possible with subliminals. I would say don't chase results that feel outlandish. At least start with results that are more palatable to you. Start with how you want to feel through these subliminals. If you're stuck, you're not being able to be productive or any of those other things, I'm gonna guess that you would want to start by feeling good, by feeling something better than you were feeling previously. So I would suggest starting with productivity subliminal, some kind of a positivity subliminal. I'm gonna link those in the description so that you can experience the best of the best. This works without you working. That's it for today, guys. I really hope that this helps someone and it took you out of your stuckness. I hope to see you guys soon.